is if it's an accident, then, as a matter of fact,
What type of accident?
I'm sorry, like a car accident, but
Okay.
that's just one example.
All right.
That's probably my biggest example
Oh,
that
I
I always
remember you
see.
talking about
Yeah,
this.
it just it
It bothers you that much?
it does. It just it aggravates me so much that someone gets into an accident,
Mm-hmm.
and we call it an accident, meaning that it wasn't intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone didn't hit your car, someone didn't leave their house or leave wherever they were at with the intentions of hitting another car. So it was an accident. So we pay car insurance for accidents that happen, things that were not intentional. And out of that insurance you pay, you have these benefits where you pay for car damage and you pay for physical damage of the individual or individuals who were in the car. But outside of that, then people are like, oh, they get a lawyer and they're like, I'm going to take you for even more than that because I want to make money off of this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing I just don't like about it. I'm like, they didn't intend to hit your car. And they were found liable because of whatever angle that it was. But I'm like, it's so bothersome to me when it was just an accident. Like, get your car fixed,
Mm-hmm.
get your health corrected, if that was impacted as well, and then let that be the end of it. But it's like, no, let me see if I can get an extra 40, 50,000 out of this person as
Well, who
well.
is paying for it? If you get the extra 40 or 50, is it still coming from the insurance?
Yeah, it's well, that I'm not sure.
Because I
It's
think that's where I would, if it wasn't coming out, I wouldn't agree with it if it was coming out of the person's pocket. Of course not. But if it's from the insurance company, I feel like they take advantage of people anyway. So that's what's going to happen. It's going to be other people trying to take advantage of the insurance company because of what's been done to us.
Okay, throw out a quick counterpoint. I think the reason we pay insurance is to make money for the insurance companies.
yeah.
And so then part of that, you get these scenarios where we then make money for lawyers and everybody else involved in there. So I don't actually think insurance has anything to do with helping people at this point.
Yeah, and you know
Like a
how
big
attorneys who would
scam.
say, they probe you. They say, remember, the insurance is not on your side. So that makes you want to, try to get more money. It's all a ploy for the attorneys to get paid. One of the insurance companies gonna get paid. Um, so I think I understand what you're saying about like why can't people it's an accident and it's an accident for a reason. Nobody
But it
intended you
gets.
didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say something. I was on the fire department. I saw so many examples of this, but the biggest one, and the examples are when there's just barely a brush between two cars, and people are claiming injury, like they're grabbing their neck, they're grabbing their side. They're like, "Oh, I can't breathe," and you look, and there's either very minimal damage or there's no damage. And there was one incident. We get a call, so the call comes over, and it says accident, and they give the cross streets and blah blah blah. So we go there, we get there on the scene, and the police end up coming too, as well as EMS, because people are saying they were injured, and it was a church bus, a church, a church bus was crossing the road, and there was a car behind it, and the church bus stopped for something, and the car didn't realize it stopped and bumped them. Literally, just bumped them.
Mm-hmm.
There was no scraping of the paint. There was no dent. There was no nothing there. And there's a calculation that they do based off of skid marks and impact and all these other things. There was nothing to do because there was literally the church van started moving when the light turned green and then stopped. Just like as soon as they started moving, they stopped, and the car was like kind of rolling. The guy wasn't even hitting on the gas yet. His car was just, he kind of just tapped it as the car was about to go, and that was it. And the car started rolling and bumped it, and he stopped it right then and there. It was, and everyone on the church van, everyone on that van got off the van talking about, oh my God. Oh, and they're sitting on the ground. They're like,
on the church,
I can't
the
move.
church van people.
And that's what, and I'm sitting there. So I'm getting off the fire truck, and I'm just in my head. I'm like, I can't believe these people are trying to get money. They're trying to get something out of this. And I'm like, there's no damn. And the police officer was like, it was this black guy. He was so funny. He was like, there is nothing here. He was like, he said, where's the injury coming from? He was talking to this one person who was saying my back. He was like, where's the injury coming from? And so again, you talking about a church van that sits up high. It was a little car, and it was an old little car, and it barely bumped it. And all of them sitting way up here, and they're just and it was just like, come on. Like, there is no impact here.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. You just barely touched the vehicle. And I can't tell how many times I've seen it. It was just so funny that everybody on the church van get all, and they supposed to be so holy and
yeah, church people, they are human too.
They are.
Yeah, they're human beings too.
But they just had me, and I'm just sitting there. I was just like, and I was so mad because my captain was like, go ahead. I was like, oh, because we gotta, go there and check their airway, do their blood pressure, their pulse. We had these,
even if
this information that we gather from each patient.
So you couldn't just say, if you have an injury, go to the hospital?
No, because we're on the scene. So you collect all this information on the scene.
Wow. Okay.
And the fire department is usually the first one on the scene anyway. So because in pretty much, I want to say in all the cities, I think it's about the same. You have more fire stations that are strategically placed in every community. Then you have police stations and then EMS stations. So because of that, the fire department is usually the first one there. Depending on what the issue is, will determine if we just get there, we stage and we wait for police. Like if it's some type of crime and that took place, then we'll just stay. We'll wait for police to come to clear the area. Let us know it's clear. Then we'll go in and we'll assess who's injured or whatever. EMS does the same thing. Usually EMS is sitting with us waiting for the police to clear the scene for it. But if it's not a crime, it's just an accident or, fire, things like that, we're going right in. But with this, again, it was an accident, and it was just, I had to take this information. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with these people, but they all just complaining and they're talking to me.
They probably got a check too.
They probably did. And I remember this one guy. He was like, this, and he was like, did you get that? Like he's telling me, like,
make sure you got it.
Right.
Make sure you got it.
And I'm telling him, I'm like, look, I said, the police officer is going to gather that information from you. I said, I'm just asking you, do you have any pain? Or he almost got an attitude with me, like, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, I got pain.
I got bills to pay. He marked that down.
Like, oh my God.
But my finger is $2,000.
I was like, this is not why I became a firefighter. No, this right here.
I remember I sued Harris Teeter and
what? You hit his curtain. You said it with. Go ahead. I'm messing with you.
It
go
was
ahead.
a legit lawsuit because I wasn't gonna do it, but I was sitting outside. Okay, first of all, when you go to Harris Teeter at Friendly Shopping Center, you will notice that the umbrellas are on the outside of Harris Teeter. They're bolted to the cement of the ground. I am the reason.
So no one can steal them.
No, so the wind won't blow them out. I am the reason why that happened. So, So I was working for a television station at the time, Black Network Television, and we was doing a story out there at Friendly Shopping Center.
Yeah.
So we went by there and got our lunch, and we went on the outside to eat. So as I'm eating my food, I'm minding my business, a gust of wind
Mother Nature. Nothing that man controls.
Gust of wind came by, picked up the umbrella that
Yeah.
that covers you out of the little ring thing that is in the table.
Yeah.
Picked it up, and the pole
But don't do that
and the
anymore.
picked it up and it hit me in my mouth, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
And so I'm like, oh my god, I'm like,
Oh, that's
Lena.
you. Yeah.
Like I'm like,
But what about the people that was with you?
oh,
That
like I can't
noticed?
what her name? Yeah, she was like, oh my god, like
Okay.
it was like literally was like a freaking
So you
nature
had a witness to all of this going down.
accident. And
Okay.
at the time, I am one of those, I'm very gullible. Like,
Yeah. You holding your mouth. Yeah.
I'm not thinking about going to the hospital. I'm not thinking about
Yeah.
any of that. But the girl that I was with, she has been a journalist for years, and like she was like, "Where's the manager? We need EMS out here." Like she got everything in order for me to be able to do that lawsuit against Harris Teeter. And the manager was like, do you really need the EMS?" And then she was
Because
like,
he already knew.
and she did all the talking for me, because if
Yeah.
I would have said something, like I probably just would
You
have
would
went
have just been
home.
like, I'm good.
Yeah, and I just
Yeah.
would have went home. But no, I got a good settlement out of that
Look
thing.
at you. You glowing.
I did. I got some money out of that. But I didn't try to. It
A
was
new house, a new
it
car.
was just I
Okay.
paid off a lot of stuff.
I
But but I had to go to the dentist, and the dentist showed where like it shifted, like
Oh.
it chipped some of my tooth.
Yeah.
So it was like a whole thing. They had to pay for that, and then they gave me like what is it called? It's a certain saying that the attorneys call it when you get damaged mentally or something like that.
You had mental damage, mental strain.
Yeah, something like that. I didn't know any of this. Like I'm maybe like
They was
approaching 30, but
that lawyer was in love with you. It was like, yes,
I didn't get a lawyer.
Okay.
So I had an attorney in the family that I knew, and I contacted him, and he told me the words to say.
Yeah.
So the first offer that they gave, I will become an attorney. And before I hire an attorney, I just study whatever they're studying, give me the
Right.
language to use. And so he gave me all the language to use, and
So
then
the first offer, so what are you supposed to do with that first offer?
I denied it.
Okay.
Yeah, and went to a second.
Because they can go higher. They can
Right.
do more
Yeah,
than
so I
that.
went to
They're
the
gonna
I did
always
the
start you
third.
with the lowest.
Right, I went to the third offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I found out in the state of North Carolina, each injury has a certain amount of money on it. Like if you lose a tooth, it's a certain amount. If you lose a finger, it's a certain amount of money for your finger. If you lose an arm, it's a certain amount of money for your arm.
Mhm.
So I just needed to know the amount that you get for like the chipped tooth. And yeah, it was a experience. But I am one of those people that would have been like, oh, it's okay. But
Yeah.
the girl that was with me, she was not one of it's just two different type of people in the world. And I say that to say you are the person
is.
that is like, okay, it's an accident. Like, oh, what? But then you have your other people, they gonna milk it for everything.
And so I'll say, as much as I say like it agitates me and stuff, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do understand it. As Kurt was mentioning, like with the home insurance scam,
Mhm.
it's almost like you look at it, it's like a Ponzi scam, kind of. But
But let me interject real quick. But if you go by Harris Teeter and Philly Shopping Center,
you want me to look and see that they're bolted,
yeah,
and be like, that's because of Speaks right there.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Nah, I was pretty much done. I'm happy it worked out for you.
Kurt, if you go, please look.
We're going to make it a trip.
I see all of this stuff as you get what you incentivize.
Yes.
And so that's something we live in. Whatever gets incentivized, that's what you're going to get back. So
Oh, yeah. That is. Okay.
I was like, what did I do for the wind to pick up the umbrella and hit me in my mouth?
Yeah.
It just was an accident. Mother Nature said, you deserve 10,000.
Yeah. Look, so the other thing, so I go to the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it never fails. And I say it like it's one or two, but it's not. It's dozens and dozens. The women that come in the gym, I'm like, okay, are we in there to work out, or are we in there to try to pick up somebody, or are we in there just to get attention?
All
Because
three.
I'm like, I'm looking at these women and I'm like, what is going on now? So first it was just the yoga pants and then a little biking short and everything. But now they're tucking in their shirts in the back
Mm-hmm.
of their, or whatever they're wearing. If they're wearing little shorts or the
Mhm.
yoga pants, they tucking them in the back now so that you could see their butt. Where before the shirt would hang and you
Yeah.
couldn't see their butts. They would either have to tie it up in a knot, or they'll have to do something else with it, or they have to wear a little shirt that's
Yeah.
low. But now what they're like doing now, they're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna just tuck it in because I want people to look at my ass
Yeah.
and stuff. But so in the front it's hanging down, but the
But the
back,
back is up.
and it's like every single one is doing it. And I'm like,
Oh wow.
is it a trend? Is that supposed to be a fashion statement?
Um.
Or you just need attention. Like you supposed to be here to work out, but you don't really care about working out. You just want men to look at you.
Oh, of the above. Well, because what I've noticed, going to the gym, my mind be like straight. Like I don't look at anybody, don't give anybody eye contact because I'm doing what I do. But when I'm in that dressing room, oh my gosh, them women have a whole photo shoot
Do they? And
in the dressing room. Yeah, but it's for their Instagram account, and I don't know if they got followers. I don't know, they might be trying to build a business. They want the attention. But it's all because of social media. So you just got to understand this is the social media era.
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to get. And they're really into it. Like they're really into it. Like they wear makeup, like full on makeup.
So that's the other thing. I'm wondering,
and I'm like, oh my God, that's going to seep into your pores. And
yeah, I'm like, why are they coming to the gym fully made up? Like you see now, I understand when it's in the evenings and you're coming from work or something.
No, this is in the morning.
You're right.
I go in the morning.
I'm in the gym in the morning, and these women are coming there. Some even hair is done. Now the other ones, they all have makeup on and their hair pulled back, but then some of them have makeup on and their hair is done. And I'm just like, are you in the work? And then you see them, they're just walking around a lot.
I was going to say,
they're not really working out.
Like, because that was another thing that I was like, I don't even think they're sweating.
Yeah, I seen one group, and and I understand if they was even younger. When I say younger,
no, this is like all age group.
Yeah, I'm saying women who are older.
Yeah,
and they're like kind of walking around. Then they'll stop and they'll sit down on a piece of equipment, but they don't ever do nothing on it. They're just on their phone the whole time. And I watched this one girl. I'm working out, but she's across from me, and I go through. I do 5 sets, and then I moved to another equipment. She's still just sitting there on the phone. She ain't done nothing, which the reason why it irritates me is because I might need that, that equipment to do for my workout. You just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? And then I move and move. And now I've done this like 30 minutes and still just sitting there. But hadn't done no workout yet. It's the same thing when there's another area in the gym where you can do like stretching and all this other stuff. So they'll grab the mats, but they'll put the mats down right in front of equipment. And I'm like, why are you putting the mat down in front of equipment you're not about to use? So I'll go over and I'm like, are you using this? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. And then I'll start doing the workout so they'll have to move. I'm like, what the hell? Why would you put a mat down in front of equipment you're not about to use? We got all this area. It's not like it's packed in there. It's like all this open area, but they want to do their stretching and stuff out next to equipment that they know people are going to be working out at. Because now they know that they're going to be near someone working out. So like to me, it's all planned. Yeah.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, because I plan to go into the room and do my stretching. Yeah. They have rooms that I don't know about the gym you have, but every gym I have been a part of, they have a private room, and I like working out in the private room. I do my stretching in there, and then if you could bring in some what did you call it? The barbells, the weight. You can bring the free weight in there, and you could do a lot in there. And usually it's maybe like 2 other women that come in there, It's just for women that don't want to be like bending over in front of people and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
which
But
is
majority of the women, they don't mind being out there with people. And then, like you said, I mean, it's for attention. It's for their Instagram posts. We are in the age of vanity.
it's about- you
Vanity
just
is
taking up space though in there. Like people are in there really to work. Like people have workout regimens. And you just taking up space in there because you want to get seen. And then I'm like, what the hell? You're not even working out. You just here,
yeah.
just walking around. But like you said, it's the vanity. It's
Yeah.
the need for attention, or it's like sometimes I see people come in there with the tripod
Yeah.
and they put their phone up on the tripod and then they get on equipment and they see I'm talking. You walk. I mean, once I wasn't even paying attention. I'm just walking, and the tripod was here, and I'm coming through, and I'm like, oh shit, my bad.
It's a video shoot
But I'm
everywhere.
like, what the
Everybody's having a
hell?
video
Some
shoot.
gyms are stopping it
Oh,
because
that's
it's getting in
good.
the way.
That's what I was gonna say.
People have been complaining in the gym. of
You
like,
have to, if you don't like it, if you don't like it, you have to complain about it. Because if you don't have any complaints and you're just having these conversations among small groups, it's not gonna have a change. I do believe that it's getting out of hand, and I think it's not healthy for the individual that's doing it. They're not even working out; they're really doing a video shoot, and so all you need is like snippets. Like they probably are up there doing like doing 3 squats. Or you know what I'm saying? And then that's it. They're not even doing the whole 10 or 20.
Yeah. They ain't doing no weight. I watched it workout. It was she took the you put the thing into the weight where you can choose how much weight you want to do. She pulls it all the way out to not do any weight. I'm just like, what? Are you
Wait
getting
a
out of that?
minute. Wait a minute now.
You do that too.
Wait a minute. Sometimes you don't need weight, Barbie.
I knew it when her face changed.
Oh.
She was one.
Well, my physical therapist told me not to do no weight right now. So I'm not putting weight up there. Okay.
But going back, I'm really messing with that. But going back to the tucking in the shirt in the back, so your butt, because I'm like, what does that have to do with working out? What does that have to do with you trying to get in shape? By tucking in your shirt, because now the intention of tucking in your shirt is to show your ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whereas, like, I don't know. It's just, it's funny to me. Like, I find myself laughing, and then I wonder if anybody see me laughing as women walk by, and I've noticed one, and I'll go just like, oh, I'll do something like that, and I wonder if people think I'm an ass for doing that.
That's a good thing, because that's the only way women will stop doing what they're doing, because what women only do what gets attention. And it could be negative attention or positive attention.
Well, but I think the ones who have not matured to that level yet are. But like I said, I've seen older women.
That's what I was going to say.
Too, and I've seen women with the injection, which is the worst. I hate seeing a woman in the gym. You can tell she had an injection because her legs are like toothpicks, but she got this ass that looked like the moon. Like it's like she got you put the moon, attach the moon to her ass. And
but it makes her feel better. So
she got these little toothpick legs. And I'm like, who is telling her this looks good?
She might be married.
She might be. I'm just like, I blame her husband then.
He like it. He likes it.
Didn't we learn from the last story though? If you want real change, you could have somebody get hit in the mouth with it and then sue.
Obviously. So, excuse me. That made
it would change. It changed. Then you go buy Harris Teeter and Friendly Shopping Center, people. Yeah. But you got, what I could say about that is you have to make noise for change to come. Because for me, if I would have walked away from that whole, incident of just being like, I'm okay, because that's what I would have done. But just because of the girl that made so much noise, I think her name was Aisha. I wish I knew where she was. She was so, she was one of those masculine women. But Yeah, if it was not for her, it would not be, the umbrellas would not be changed on the floor.
Did you get that done at all Harris Teeters that had that out?
I don't know, but I know
They-
that one at Friendly Shopping
Yeah.
Center, with those umbrellas on the outside, they change
you
the
just
floor.
you were just ecstatic about that.
Because when I went back, I was like, oh my God, we changed it. I mean, like,
There's some poor person with the sun in their face going, why can't I move?
Right.
this?"
Exactly.
it's better it be chained on the floor, people, because you do not want that gust of wind to come by and that
that
pole
umbrella
hit you
hits
in
you in
your
the mouth.
face. Yes, yes. So I'm saying that if y'all have an issue with it in the gyms, these ladies taking over the equipment, videoing themselves, you got to make noise for the change to come.
Not only that is, and then it's so funny. I could be working out, and then a woman would come. I remember I was seeing videos of this, and I was like, I thought the videos are silly because I was like, oh, these must just be made up stuff people are doing just to post the video. And now I'm like, no, this shit really happens. I'm in the gym, I'm working out, and then a woman gets right in front of me, stands right in front of me, and is doing all this bending over and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm trying to work out, and I'm irritated because now usually there's like a mirror or something, you know, that walking so you can see as you're working out.
Oh, she's standing in front of the mirror.
Because she's looking at herself, but now she's been, I can't even see nothing. This is all your ass is in front of me because you got your shirt tucked in, so your ass is out.
Yeah.
And then you wearing the yoga pants that separates each butt cheek. They don't even wear the old school yoga pants from back in the day where it just covered your butt. Now they wear those yoga pants where it's the split. Right, so each butt cheek jiggles on its own. Like they're individuals now.
Have you seen the videos when men turn around? They I have seen that. The men be like, and they like turn around and work out the other way, like.
Because it's like, it's like I feel like they intentionally try to stand. They try to, like I told you,
you know they do.
Near you,
you know. I feel like they're doing it,
or
intentionally.
they stand right in.
They
front
intentionally
of you
doing it.
Yeah, I'm like,
but see, this goes to okay with my 19-year-old, how he feels, you know, with the other gender. He's like, it's so. He says it's overrated. He's like, he's not into, like, when I was younger, we was like wanting to get to know the other gender and things like that. It's so saturated and so in their face that they're just like, yeah. Like,
I believe it because it is. I mean,
just like you're like, you're gonna
because and it's not, and it's not like it's just one or two. It's every single one.
That's exactly what he said.
The difference between one and the next is how extreme they are going with the skimpiness of the outfit, because they're all skimpy, but some are wearing like a bathing suit, literally like a 2-piece bathing suit. And I'm just like, you come to work out, but it's like, it's so obvious. And I'm like, well, if it's obvious to all of us looking around, I'm like, I know it's obvious to them as well, and that's why, you know, like the attention to them. But it's just so funny, and I'm like, like today. I mean, every day I go to the gym almost every day, so every day I'm in there, and I'm just like, what the hell? And then you start seeing the same ones, and then they start getting these little clicks, and a couple of them will speak and stuff. And one time I asked one girl, I was like, do all women just want to get nice outfits or something like that? And then I was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't even say that. Like, I felt like I was sounding like an asshole or something. And she was like, no. She was like, no, it's cool. She was like, yeah. She was like, every month I go get a new outfit. But I was like, that shit is real. Like, I was like, so you're in here styling and profiling up in the gym where you're supposed to be working out. And she's one who has on a whole bunch of makeup too. I'm like, hair done, all that. Like, you in a club, but you in the gym.
But the club is the gym.
I guess if you want to find a man that's in shape, and healthy and all of that, you want to.
Or if you just want to get fucked.
Hey, you say that 3 times.
That's when they going. I mean, like, It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it was. Oh man, it was just funny to me. I was there, so I had to just. I just wanted to talk about that. 'cause
You
I'm
got
like,
something else? You got something else?
I do. I
Okay.
do. I had
You
three
coming up with
things,
some good
actually.
stuff.
Look now, you and I've had this topic offline, and I think we might have barely touched on it one time on the show, but I don't think we really dove into it. But who's more violent, men or women?
Women.
And I would say I agree because I think men have more violent interaction,
Mm-hmm.
but I think women overall are just more violent. And I think it's because men, as we're growing up, because we have those physical altercations, we have an understanding of what can occur.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you always hear men say, there's a lot of sizing up that goes on when men meet each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fact that, what if something goes wrong? Like, I always laugh at the stories when people talk about when they hung out with like Mike Tyson, and it was like, and he was getting a little rowdy, and it was like, shit, who gonna say something to, like,
right, nobody.
Because you understand that situation where a woman doesn't grow up, not all women, some do, but I think it's a small percentage, don't grow up having those type of physical altercations. So a woman is more quick to run off at the mouth and say things, and even put a hand on, like I always say, if you put your hands on a man, you should expect to get hit back.
Mm-hmm.
If not, don't put your hands on them. But they're quicker to that, where men are more reluctant unless they are at that point to where it needs to be physical. A man will walk away from another man, be like, man, all right, whatever.
Well, being a school teacher from K through 5, just witnessing females versus males in the kindergarten classroom. Males were always they had more grace, they're more docile, like they were.
Well, we understand. So, I'm not to cut you off. I'm getting, because I could feel the energy I'm getting, because I've seen it as far as you watch a man and a woman having a conversation and it gets heated or whatever. You'll see a lot of times the man is way more quiet. He's just kind of just sitting there, and she's digging in into him.
With
and
pain points. What kind
of will push it to those levels because they're not used to it being pushed to those levels and it turning physical. A man knows if he pushes it to that level with another man, that before he gets that next word out, he might get popped. Because it's about to turn physical, where a woman just keeps digging and digging, like
we are some
sticking
different
those knives in you.
We are different. Like it I could say I had my 3 in the kindergarten class. It was 3 little girls that I would always. They was like in my mind they was the troublemakers, and it wasn't because they was doing it out loud. They would do it manipulative. Like they would be. It was so. Like in a sinister behavior, but I never seen that from boys. Matter of fact, I feel like all boys get their heart broken from K through 5. Those girls is gonna do something to make them hoes in the future. Right. The dudes don't become hoes. At first they be bringing their mama help them put something together, bring the girl some candy and stuff like that. But that little girl is fierce because then if it's another dude that come up, she'll be like, I don't want your candy anymore. Johnny brought me some candy and it's bigger. It was just like,
even when you think about
it was cutthroat.
Sex and stuff, they always say how women are faster than men.
They would make the boys kiss them.
Yeah, because I remember when I was young.
Stop.
The first time, my first kiss was an older girl kissing me. Being really young and stuff. It was always. I remember a lot of times it was. Being young and a girl was the one that was the aggressor.
Yeah.
And then,
wow. Oh wait, that's why I always I joke when we me and my lady friends talk about it. I was like, well, we turned them into hoes, y'all. From what I seen, man, these little girls be ruthless, and then it switches. Then the girls go into wanting the committed relationships and
Right.
things. But that is not the case in kindergarten. They got there's like 5 different dudes
You
going
said
after them.
kindergarten.
It was, they got 5 different dudes going
I'm like,
after them.
What school is this?
No, I'm telling you, this is what we explore at a young age as
Yeah.
humans.
No,
So
I'm with you.
yeah,
Um,
those are main things you have to watch out for in K through 5 is you have to watch out for all that exploration of the body and they're mimicking what they're seeing at home, and so it's a lot. But what I have seen is always the woman is more. We have I would say this. I could understand. Now, this is just biblical things. I could understand why they wrote the story the way they wrote the story, that Eve needed someone to lead her. Because if Eve was doing the leading, like everybody would just probably have orgies, and like she would follow anything. She would go. Her mindset would go this way, that way. It was no order. So, like in biblical, that's why the man is over the woman, is to kind of give her some order and some direction. And our mind is very wavery. Like we think about tons of different things at once. Y'all are like that one straight narrow mindset.
we stay on that subject.
Yeah, because
That's what I'm talking
when I'm
about.
going to bed, I'm thinking about
Yeah.
tomorrow I'm gonna fix this. Oh, did I?
That's
did I
why
put
if you
this in the
look
dryer?
at,
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Like it's.
but if you look
constant.
at like watch any podcast or any type of show where they have guests on and the guests are debating about something. You watch whenever the man is talking, the woman, as soon as she gets thoughts or there's something that contra her opinion,
Mhm.
she's jumping in. She won't even let him finish.
Mhm.
But when she's talking, the man's just sitting there. He's just listening.
Yeah.
You know, the man doesn't have that need to have to interject every single time something pops in his head. He can be cool
Mhm.
and chill, but the woman usually is always jumping in to say something. And he'd be like, look, I'll let you talk. Now let me
Mhm.
talk.
And that's hard.
And she'd be like, well, no, because you just said this and I need to speak on that. And he like, let me finish.
Right.
And it's constant. And now he can't even finish his thought because she keeps jumping in. And then the host or whoever, you have to say, okay, look. And then they jump in.
Yeah.
And it keeps happening over and over whenever. And the man will like, they'll even ask the man a question. Well, hey, what do you think about this? He'll be like, okay. And he'll start talking. She'll be like, yeah, but, and he's still.
But that's
he's
how we
still
talk to each
talking.
other. So
Yeah,
we have to
but-
learn how to talk to you guys, because within our world, we could interject and we could remember what we were saying, and then the other girl would jump in and we could pick up
But
on
when
that
the
and we could go back.
But if the man does it to the woman though on these shows or whatever, they get mad. If he does it.
Right,
But
because
if she does it, it's supposed to be okay.
if the girl does it, it's okay. When the man does it, we feel intimidated.
Yeah. So don't do it to him. Like it's like that level of respect. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna allow you to talk. You allow me to talk. And if you think you're gonna forget your thought, write it down. They
Right.
provide pen and paper.
But you
at
know
these
we have
events.
issue with respecting men too, in a way, because sugar and spice is everything nice. Like girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice.
That's what they say.
Boys is made of disgusting tails, puppy dog tails. I can't remember how it goes.
I remember.
Right. So it's like you're dealing with a lot of people that was raised that is nothing I can do wrong type of women, and so it's like the respect that we may not show respect towards a lot of men, and that's because it's kind of like a narcissist behavior. If I should say.
Women are way more narcissistic than compared to men. And then going back to like the violent part, I've had this conversation with men. It was just so funny how at least this group that I was talking to, they all were saying that they had never had someone make them reach a point of being so angry than a woman has made them. They were saying no man has ever pushed them that far to where they was that angry, to where they were just like, and when you're dealing with a woman, you just have to remove yourself, from that, or you're going to end up hurt because they just keep pushing and pushing. with the words and stuff because they don't understand the limits to things. Where, like I said, with men, we understand the limits because we grew up fighting each other. So, for example, like when I'm young and I have a little mouth on me, so I'm 9, 10 years old, I have a little mouth on me, and this is a true story. And I might have been 13. I was around 13, maybe 14. And it's my older brother, my older cousins, and I'm hanging with all of them, and I'm kind of popping off at the mouth a little bit, saying some things out of nowhere. My brother just comes through, bow, in my chest. I go back. He ain't say one word to me. He hit me until I was popping off at the mouth a little too much.
Yeah.
Like, stay in your place. But that doesn't happen. So like that, and that's just one example that where I was popular. You know, other times maybe we wrestled, maybe we locked up, and he let me know. And me and my older brother, we are 9 years apart. So it's not like, you know, when I'm 13, 14, he 20 something. You understand? Like, he's a grown man, and he's not hitting me to break me down.
Yeah.
He's hitting me hard enough to where I feel it.
Yeah.
And hard enough to where I'm like, all right, let me shut up.
Get in your place.
Yeah. Like, let me start talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's even like we'll be joning. So we'll be cracking jokes on each other. And I remember one time I was saying some shit and he was like, all right. And I kept going. He was like, all right, that's enough. And I kept going. He like, say something else. Say something else. I knew then that it had reached that point to where he didn't want to talk no more. Yeah, like the plan was over.
Yeah,
like he didn't want to play no more.
Right.
And I was still because I'm a kid still pushing the limits of the situation, and I would say, and I think I told you this, fighting my older brother, each time it created a strength as far as it made me realize that I always feel like I can fight anyone. So I've never been afraid of anyone because I always think I fought my older brother. Like that was big. But going back to that, those are the limits that we come across as young men. Like if it wasn't my brother, it would have been one of my cousins because my cousins have done it. Like I remember being around my cousin one time and I was being silly. I remember I'm hanging with, again, at this time, I was like the youngest out of all of my cousins and stuff. I'm hanging with them and I'm acting up a little bit. And my cousin's like, all right, man, that's enough. But I'm still, cause you always got people like laughing and giggling and stuff. So you want to keep it going a little bit. And my cousin's like, all right, you know, it's enough. Like, all right, calm down. You know, like that. It just kind of, I keep going and just kind of, couple of body blows. I was like, oh shit. Like, it was like, and that was it. Like, it's like those things outside of fighting each other as friends and all of that. Like, we constantly go through that. That's why friends are, fight a lot growing up.
Yeah.
You know, you get into it with somebody, you say something, then boom, like y'all are fighting where
and with women, you just continue to talk.
Y'all just keep going with all of that.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, like, listen, when I was talking to those group of friends of mine, it was like, the anger is, and I've seen it with even, like, I could see it. I don't know if you ever noticed people on the street, male and a female, and they're going and the woman is like all up in his face and he's standing and you could see him heated and he's trying to be cool. And I seen one time that was having a dude try to walk away and she grabbed him. She's like, nah, don't you walk away from me. I'm like, man, if she pushes him a little too far,
she gonna get hit
because the only reason why, and this is the thing, the only reason why women are allowed to run off at the mouth like that is because you are a woman. That's the only reason.
That's the only reason. Yeah.
The only reason it has nothing to do with the fact that you saying shit that you shouldn't be saying.
Yeah.
But you pushing it and you like, and that's why I said, I've told you this. You could turn a dude who doesn't hit women into a dude that now, let's say he ain't hit a woman.
Yeah. I used to be amazed when I would see women, be so combative towards men. It's because I didn't see it, and they would do it really good too. Like the words that they would use, they'd be like hitting below the belt. It's just like, whoa. But I didn't see that. Like all it took was a hand clap in my household. Everybody shutting up.
Yeah.
And I understand it now is because like if my dad was the only male in the household, then you dealing with 3 chatty women, you know. So we wasn't chatting that much. we get a little bit. We'll get a little bit out, and then you know he do it in a. I felt like it was a respectful way, but at the same time, it was got you alert. And I tell men to this day, like it don't take much unless the woman is like all the way off kilter, have no respect for men whatsoever. But it does not take much to make a woman kind of like shut up or just like
it doesn't.
it don't take a lot.
I've interacted with women and they said the same thing.
Yeah.
And some always talk about that silent strength. Like I've had girls tell me like they like the men who can give them that look. Like they can be out and doing stuff and they give them a look like, and she like, oh, okay,
that's too much.
Yeah.
Like I said, because
she chill.
Sometimes we don't even know that we being too much.
Yeah.
Because if we with our lady friends, they gonna egg us on. You know. But if you with a dude and they're like that's a little bit too much, and you see them looking at you like that, you be like, oh, maybe that is too much.
You know.
So, I don't know. Maybe this is the feminist movement, so I will get a lot of slack saying that we might need a little bit of direction sometimes. But I just think sometimes we might need to shut the hell up. You know, if you don't tell me that I need to shut the hell up, I'm not gonna shut the hell up. Like
this is something I was thinking about,
and I be thinking, hold on, I be thinking to myself, maybe this is too far. Maybe I need to shut the hell up. Yeah. But it's something in me that does not allow
push it. Right, because
I just keep going.
Because
I just keep going.
Because when you're growing up, you don't have those physical altercations that young men have.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, so
I ain't never got punched in the mouth
when we were young
by the umbrella.
Right. But when boys are young and we pop off like that, there's usually an older man that's going to check, or an older sibling that's going to check you. And they're going to check you physically.
I got it.
Okay. You know.
And we don't have that, so we wouldn't know the cutoff.
So that's why you all just keep going and going with the words. Yeah. You don't know that those words get your ass kicked. You know, now I've seen, women fighting all of that. So y'all do get to a point, but there's a lot of this going on before y'all get to that point of, actually fighting. And men don't do all of that talking. Because we are more physical. We don't do that. But like I said, when a woman is doing it, it's like, and that's why it's like, I remember I was told when I was young by an older man, he was like, he told me, he was like, don't put your hands on women. He said, but don't stand there and listen. He was like, leave. He was like, cause you're going to
walk away from it.
He's like, cause it's going to take you to a level where you're not going to be able to help yourself. You're going to end up putting your hands on. He was like, just leave. But then, like I said, then you try to leave. You got the women like, where you going? And they following you. And they, yeah, on your face. And then all of a sudden you catch them. And now they label you Ike Turner or someone.
He's like, wait a minute, she kept talking shit.
Or Chris Brown in the car with Rihanna. Like, and like, even with that, and not, cause I don't know shit about that whole situation, but I remember when all of that happened with them too, and of course, all the women was on Rihanna's side. I'm like, you don't know what words,
right?
Was shooting back and forth in the car.
So, word on the street, on the hip hop street, is that Rihanna gave him herpes, and he was confronting her
on that, and she's like, "What the hell?"
Right? Yeah. So that's how that
you dirty dick, and he like, "No, you dirty coochie."
Right. So
I would too. I would confront any women I'm dealing with or woman that I'm dealing with, and I end up with something, especially if we in a relationship and it's supposed to be just you and me, and I end up with something. I'm like, what the hell? And then you like, I did sleep with Kurt. I'm like, mother, I knew it. I knew it.
Cause he was nicer. You're an asshole.
What the hell? But yeah, but you never know What
It's
like
crazy.
whenever they show when a man hits a woman, I'm like, what led up to that? Because words cut. Like words dig so deep into a person. And when you're in a relationship with a woman, you confide, like she knows things about you.
Mhm.
You know, it's like one comedian, I think it was Kevin Hart. He was saying that him and this girl get into it. He was like, she talking about Mr. Boo Boo on yourself, man, or something. He's like, now why you gonna say that? Like they were going at it, and she said
Oh,
that.
you
He's like,
something I
why
told
you
you
gonna
in
say that?
confidence.
Right?
Yeah.
And he like now everybody. He was like they were at a table and they were arguing. He like now everybody at the table looking at him with the doodle face, like the boy that doodles.
Right. How you gonna make that
Right.
low? Yeah, you
Yeah,
go that far.
and it's because, and he was talking about it in his joke. He was like, you know, women will cut you deep. He was like, men don't do
That's because
that.
we're not physically as strong as you guys, so we do try to find words to kind of cut you deep. Because I would much rather prefer the strength that I could use so we could fight,
Yeah,
but I don't have that.
but you know,
So you,
yeah.
so you have to use the words.
And so, and a man would think, we're like, all right, if I hit her, I need to hit her in the body. If I hit her in the face, everybody
So
gonna
we're
know
gonna
I
say-
hit her. Right. So let me get a nice little,
hear what's going on.
couple of blows to the midsection.
Yeah.
Can't nobody see it.
Well, we're gonna wrap this up tonight. We won't get canceled about men beating up women and being justified. Ladies, you better shut up.
Look, yeah, watch your mouth. If the mouth get out of hand.
No, it's just about being respectful.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
really
about-
comes down to, and I will say, when a woman respects the man she's with, that doesn't happen.
Right. Yeah.
So I will say, if she doesn't respect the man she's with, then it could happen. Or if you're dealing, and I'll say this too, or if you're dealing with, because I had friends of mine who they were respected by their woman, but their woman came from abusive relationships. So sometimes that type of woman might think that being in a relationship with altercation,
It's
physical
normal.
altercations,
It's normal.
is the way of showing
Love.
Right. So
Yeah.
then you gotta, now that's like, look, you gotta sit that person down. Like, look,
Let's
I
talk.
don't operate like that.
Right. That's not.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not.
that's
That's
not
not
love.
healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's not healthy. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, make sure you're in a healthy relationship, and if you don't respect them, then you shouldn't be with them.
And last thing, I tell the women, like my daughter, my goddaughter, I tell them, I'm like, don't get into it with any guy. I'm like, I don't care if it's your boyfriend, whatever. I say, you call me, or if it getting to a point to where you think there's a situation, I said, you got me, you got your uncle, you got your cousin, you know, like with my daughter, like you got your brother, like you have people who can come in between you and this male and handle that for you. You don't need to try to not show that you're weak and then get hurt trying to fight a man. Because the other thing too is usually when a man gets into it with a woman, he's not even coming at at least the situations I know of where men have gotten to women, they're not going at them like they're going at them as if they were a man. Like they're holding back.
Yeah.
And there's damage with the holding back. So if you ever push the man to a point to where he forgets that you're a woman, like he goes blank, and he comes at you, like, you know, what was the football player, Ray Rice? That when he hit and knocked her out, had to drag her out. Like, who knows? Even with that, and again, I'm not condoning none of it, but who knows what was said? Like we always talking about.
Yeah, you gotta watch your mouth.
The aftermath is like we almost.
And you gotta keep your hands to yourself too.
Yeah, but it's almost.
He gotta walk away.
But the thing is, whenever we talk about the man keeping his hands to himself, it's almost like saying, well, the woman should be able to say whatever, and the man should be able to be in control, as if he's not a human being with emotions.
How about both of you guys be in control of yourselves, and just come? You got to respect whoever you're with, and vice versa.
The respect goes a long way.
Yeah.
And, you know, we talk about all the time communication.
Yeah.
And communication, part of communication is knowing how to speak to each other. Like I said, you know, at work we always call it being constructive, not destructive. So using your word to be constructive, like you want to build someone up. You don't want to tear them down with your word. because it's so easily to tear down. But stop, take time, and think about, process your thoughts, and be like, okay, I know if I would be like, damn, bitch ass mother. I know if I say it like that, it's gonna come off one way. But if I say, hey man, look, you don't need to act like that. How about approach it this way? Then it's like, oh,
Mhm.
So, but okay, let's wrap it up.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, because I could talk
thank you. Got more?
No.
Thank you guys for watching Random Thoughts from the Flux Studios.
In the basement.
In the
at Flux
basement.
Studio. With our internationally known engineer of the last 2.5 decades, Kurt, is in the building. Yeah,
Thank you. We had a wonderful meal too
we did.
before the show.
Yeah, we was upstairs
Mm-hmm.
eating with Kurt and his beautiful
Wives.
senorita.
Yeah. We done gave her a whole.
I know.
Nah,
Yeah, she's become Mexican all
all of a sudden, because of the meal. We're so racist. No,
Let me. Okay. We're going to edit this show.
I know we keep going. We
know.
can't help it.
All right.